Hello, everyone. Excuse guys. Today is day 5 of my Achilles Post Op, and I wanted to go over a few things with you. One of the things that people don't think about when we're aging is that our muscles can lose their elasticity. If you don't exercise, you don't eat right, you don't keep those muscles lubricated, and I think that that's part of the reason why my Achilles ended up ripping. I'm one of those people that I don't like to stretch before I exercise. I just kind of go do it because I get too tired. When I had this injury, I really wasn't doing anything. I was just at work walking, and one day it started hurting and swelling up. So one of my goals this year was to add yoga to whatever it was I was going to try to do this year. To help me, get my joints back into being flexible and stuff like that, and kind of help repair some of this muscle issue that I was having. In the process of doing physical therapy for my foot, they kept telling me that my muscles were like contracted and would stay contracted. They weren't like loosening up. So I don't like to take, a lot of medication. Don't mind my R2D2 over there. But yoga was one of the things that was suggested because it helps you maintain some of your flexibility. As with any surgery, when you are immobile for a short or even a long period of time, it doesn't happen so much when it's short, depending on the injury. But if you have a long-term injury like what I have, it's going to be at least 2 months of recovery. The doctors worry about what's called atrophy. That is, I need to get the definition here because I didn't really know what atrophy was. I hear it all the time, but didn't really pay attention because it didn't apply to me. I stay moving all the time, so it's not going to happen to me. But in going to the doctor this time, he said that you do, because of your age and the fact that you're going to be immobile for at least 2 months, you want to try to prevent your muscles from atrophying. So what exactly is atrophying? Well, it's a wasting away, especially as a result of a degeneration of cells or become vestiges, during evolution. But basically, it's a gradual decline of the effectiveness and the youngness of your muscles. So you've got a muscle, your calf muscle is like this, and then over the 2 month time, if you're not exercising and keeping it moving, it gets smaller, smaller, and smaller, to where eventually you have one leg, one calf muscle that's bigger than the other. And it's really hard to keep that from happening. But I have a lot of other physical disabilities, so when it comes to me trying to exercise, I have to be careful. So one of the things, like I said, that was suggested was yoga. So how do you do yoga with an Achilles tendon? Technically, I thought it was impossible. But I ran into, when I was Googling last night, some information on physio yoga. The person who's created this program, which is where you take part of physical therapy and yoga and you kind of merge them into one. She has several degrees of things and experience that I don't have because I'm just here showing my journey. But this lovely person's name was Shelly Prosko. I'll put the link to her video down on the bottom of this video. But last night when I'm going, there's just no way I'm going to be able to do yoga with this, or anything to really lose the weight that I'm trying to accomplish and not lose my muscle mass. I ran across her videos last night, and she just so happens to have a 100% tear in her Achilles and was trying to do non-surgical repair on it, where I chose surgery because I know my body. So I'm just wanting to show you a little bit about what she's got going here. When I was doing the research on the beginning exercises that you should start with your doctor's permission, because everything has to run through your doctor, make sure you're physically able and you're not going to be hurting yourself. I happen to have a doctor who loves to add Western medicine with holistic and, different things to help the process of the Western medicine. So I got the green light to go ahead and do this for me. Like I said, I'm 5 days out. And one of the basic things that they start with, I guess, when we're trying to keep our leg from shrinking and keep the muscles is the thigh muscles and everything. They're not used to carrying this big old thing on their foot. The only reason why I'm doing okay with it right now is because for the last 2 months, I've already had one on my foot. But most people don't have that practice. So my left leg has had to do a lot of the work, and it's a lot stronger because it's been doing a lot of the work for the last 2 months. But when I go to start regular physical therapy, I'm going to be at a disadvantage because my left side is going to be stronger than my right side. And I want to try to, keep that in proportion because basically the minute this thing comes off, I want to be able to hit the gate, run in, and go. I don't sit still for very long. So one of the first exercises that they say is just do the straight leg raises. It helps build your abdomen, makes it a little bit stronger, reduces some of your back pain, and it helps to strengthen your thighs and stuff right here, and keep your knee muscles tight. It's also very good for arthritis and things, and I have that too, so we're going to see if it works for that. But basically, I just wanted to do a little, I guess it's a meditation, something that you do, and it helps you relax your muscles, and then I'll just do a couple of leg lifts, and then that's it, because I don't think I can do too terribly much right now, because this thing is pretty heavy on my foot, and Lucky wants to participate in the video, so say hello, look, say hello, say okay, so there's the rest of my animals. But anyway, I'm going to do a little bit of stretching here. And the first thing you really do is you utilize a chair or anything else you have. And I use my scooter because I used to be a skateboarder. So that's another reason why I'm having difficulties, because I have my grandma walker and I have my skateboard and scooter. So depending on how I feel on what day, I'm either a teenager and I go scooting around the house on this, or I'm grandma and I'm running around on my mom's walker and it has a seat on it. So I just kind of scoot around. But so basically we're going to just start with a little bit of relaxation where you kind of get your foot up in the air, which is good because that's what you're supposed to be doing for most of this. Excuse me, princess. This little star's princess. I'm going to move her around. But if you watch Shelly's video more in depth, she goes into breathing exercises and things like that. It's kind of hard to do that when I have all these guys that are all over me. But I'm going to go back into her programs and look and learn the techniques, because overall, if your mind, your body, and spirit are working together to heal, you will heal a lot faster. So we just kind of lay here, and normally I would close my eyes, but as you can see, I have a nurse laying on top of me. Shh, shh, hey. So you can tighten up your core muscles and things like that. Baby boy. So when you tighten up your core muscles here, you also want to start working on your thigh muscles. So once you're relaxed, in normal cases I would actually be breathing a little better, but when you've got 4 fur children that run around for everything, you kind of can't do that. So moving around is a little bit difficult, but the key is to obviously keep your leg straight. Thor wanted to say hi. So you can do this sitting on a chair or laying on your back. So now that I'm up talking, I've got to go back to laying on the floor. So basically, a straight leg lift. If the Chihuahua would get out of the camera view, is just straight up. You can do it starting this way. You can do it on the end of a chair, or you can lay down. Laying down might be a little dangerous for me right now because I have these wild animals who don't understand that mommy's not trying to play. Plus, they just want mommy to feel better. So, once you've done your resting with your legs up in the air, you just lift your legs straight up. You gotta try to tighten your ab muscles and your thigh muscles when you do that. Okay, so I can't put my legs straight now. So I have been working on this, like I said, with the boot already on my foot. But I know that my right side is definitely weaker than my left. So I know that I can't do like a rep of 10 because it's going to tire me out. But when you do these exercises, you want to make sure that you do both sides. Because remember, you're trying to keep your muscles from shrinking, so you want them to work evenly. So I think I did 5 on that side. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. I'm getting arm exercises too. 4, 5. Now, I can feel that kind of right in here. I tightened this up when I did it, but obviously I don't have the weight on that leg, so it's moving faster. So as I'm doing that, I'm feeling a little bit of tightness on my right side because the muscles are super tight. I also have heart conditions, so that's why I do heavy breathing, and it's harder for me to move around and do certain things. So that's pretty much all I'm going to show you today because my lovely little fur children aren't going to allow me to get into anything else. But like I said, I'm just going to be documenting my progress, the exercises, the information that I learned through this recovery process. And like I said, I'll put the link down to the lady who's created this physio yoga that I think is going to be really beneficial for me in keeping my muscles healthy, keep me from having the atrophy or re-hurting because it's a combination of physical therapy and yoga. So stay tuned for my next video. Hopefully I have less helpers. Case in point.